From snakes almost biting your butt to sea animals napping on your couch, here are 8 animal home invasions. Number 8. Alligator in the kitchen. Florida is known for a lot of wild things. Like, a lot. And to add to the weirdness and danger of the state, it also has a plethora of both alligators and crocodiles. These creatures are extremely deadly. They're opportunistic and amazing predators, and their powerful jaws have the strongest bite in the animal world. They can ambush just about any animal that gets too close to the water and drag them to their death below. Not only should you fear them in the water, they're also incredibly fast on land as well. And sometimes they wander. That's exactly what one of these massive reptiles did when in the middle of the night, it decided to invade a house in Clearwater, Florida. A couple woke up to some noises, and when they went to see what the ruckus was, they found themselves looking at an 11-foot crocodile beast in their kitchen. He knocked over anything his tail could hit, smashed their table, damaged the walls, and he didn't use the front door or a secret tunnel either. He crept in through a lowly placed kitchen window. The couple called the police and the wildlife authorities, who came and safely removed the home invader, though not before taking many pictures of the said gator and putting it all over the internet, because when you have that kind of story, of course you post it all over. And trust me when I say that this is just one crazy alligator crocodile story that has come from Florida. There are many more. Number 7, snake in the toilet. If you think waking up to a crocodile in your kitchen is wild, imagine you're doing your business and a snake almost bites your butt off. This is a fear I think a lot of people have, but may not want to admit it. Also, finding snakes in the toilet happens more than you would think. It's not just one species of special toilet snake, though. There are all kinds of snakes that do this all over the world. Story time. Apparently, snakes love Texas. In June 2018, the Dallas News reported that an indigo snake slithered out of a toilet at Wade Velock's home near Corpus Christi. Velock was cleaning the bathroom when his son spotted the serpent coming out of his toilet. I looked back at the toilet, and that snake was about 3 feet out, climbing toward the window. It took at least 6 years of my life, Velock told KSAT TV. In February 2017, a rattlesnake was found in a toilet by Isaac McFadden in Texas. CNN reported that he woke up to use the bathroom one morning and found the snake in his toilet. I found this big clump, and I knew it was a snake, McFadden revealed. Interesting choice of words. However, after the family called Big Country Snake Removal and the technician arrived, 24 western diamondback rattlesnakes were found inside and around their house. Rattlesnakes are secretive and can be very cryptic. They heavily rely on their camouflage. Big Country Snake Removal wrote on their Facebook page, "This is simply how they survive. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they aren't there." Now the question in your mind might be, but how do snakes get in the toilet? They don't actually come in through the toilet, they just end up there. They'll get into your house through a break in the sewer system, in your own line or the city line, and then go into the toilet to rest and cool off, because it's hot everywhere else. However, there are cases where snakes will go through the sewer pipes because of the potential for getting rats and other things. So yes, they can come up through the toilet itself. In Australia, certain animal control personnel tell people that they get about 10 snakes a year in the toilet. And some snakes haven't been noticed by those who sit on the throne, if you will, and thus get bitten. Do you have a fear of snakes coming into your toilet? Now you do. Hey, real quick, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more videos like these. Number 6, da bears. Now you might expect a raccoon to rummage through your garbage, depending on where you live. Even a stray cat to sneak in through a window. It happens, okay? But a bear? Bears aren't one of them. Rummaging through your campsite? Yeah, sure, you're in the woods. They're home. Rummaging through your house? Not so much. One night, 2 friends living together heard some strange noises downstairs. They went to check out what was going on. They thought someone could be breaking in. And someone did break in. A mama bear and her 2 cubs. And they seemed to be having a good time, happily roaming around. This is scary. Bears have a big appetite and have eaten people before. Not surprisingly, when one of the residents took pictures and video of the bears, the mama bear actually charged in order to ensure that the cubs weren't harmed. Mamas are very protective over their young. Of course she charged at him. You might be wondering, how did the bears get into the house? Well, one of the super smart dudes living in the house left all the doors open and then went to bed, forgetting all the doors were open. What the heck, were you raised in a barn? You pretty much invited the bears in. As for why the bears went into the house, that's actually rather easy to explain. Bears have a very sensitive nose, and no doubt it smelled some food inside. And since the door was open, she probably thought she would have a nice meal with the kids. The obvious lesson here is that there are very easy ways to ensure that your home isn't invaded by bears. Keep your doors and windows closed. Duh. And of course, if you do have a bear in your home, don't try and fight it. You'll lose. As one couple will attest to when another mama bear and cubs broke through a screen door into their home and started eating their food. They thought it would be a good idea to attack the bear with a baseball bat. They were very wrong. Number 5, the airport invasion. While bugs as a whole can be very annoying, mosquitoes are always at the top of the list as ones you just don't want to deal with. They infect people with diseases and can potentially kill all of humanity if they are given the chance. In fact, they are the creatures on Earth that cause the most deaths among humans by their transfer of diseases. So when a swarm of them started to bother construction workers at LaGuardia Airport back in 2017, you know that those workers were annoyed, and they were more than happy to speak to that effect. I'm very annoyed. It's been very annoying. They're everywhere when you're walking around. Michael Vasquez, 30, a customer service agent. So why were these mosquitoes invading this workspace? No one really knows what lured all these nuisances to the spot. Maybe they were part of the union, needed some work. Just kidding, I don't know either. But it was very sudden and never ending and very, very annoying. They fly in front of your face like they want to kiss you, said Cynthia DeMora. I have a lot of bites. What's worse though is that it was springtime, so even more bugs were out. Another issue was that the Zika virus was very prominent at the time, and the workers could have been infected with it if bitten by the carriers. The issue was taken care of, and this unique home invasion, it's the home of the busy travelers, was squashed, almost quite literally. Number 4, hop on, hop off house. Grasshoppers have been known to swarm on occasion, but one of the most notable swarms in history is one that happened in 2014 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In fact, it was so bad that they dubbed it the worst infestation in 20 years. If that doesn't give you a clue to how bad it was, picture this. The swarms were so dense that they were actually being picked up on radar. That's a lot of grasshoppers. Albuquerque has not seen these levels of grasshoppers since the early mid-90s, said John R. Garlish, extension agent at the Bernalillo County Cooperative Extension Service. If you caught that, that means this has happened multiple times. As for the radar part, that wasn't the New Mexico people talking about it. It was the National Weather Service. That's right, the service that the whole country uses to find out about the weather. It found out about these swarms on their highly sophisticated equipment. The clouds of grasshoppers were so thick that it was confusing the radar into thinking they were clouds of rain, which would have been better, to be honest here. We've actually been noticing the insects on radar since Memorial Day, said NWS spokesman David Kraft. We have noticed the greatest impact on the radar during the evening, but they are noticeable at other times of the day too. The number of grasshoppers swarmed all over the town and could be seen both inside and outside houses, making it clear that no one in the area was safe until they departed. They eventually did, but the damage in many ways had already been done. Not a great time for the people of Albuquerque. Number 3, sealing the deal. Who says aquatic animals can't venture more inland? A woman in New Zealand found herself looking at a new house guest, a baby seal. No, this really happened. How does a seal get into a house? Well, the woman who owned it had cats, and that meant having a cat door. The seal wiggled through the door and started to just roam around, eventually ending up in the living room. The baby seal got comfy on the couch and started to make some noise. When the owner came downstairs, she was in for quite a shock, not just because there was a seal in her house, but it was napping on her couch. I thought, I'm hallucinating. This is just wrong, Swaffer told the paper. Then it looks at me with those huge brown eyes. It was so cute. So, while uninvited, the seal seemed to have fit quite nicely with the family. If you wonder what happened to it next, she called the local animal society, which was the right move, as they had been looking for the seal. Number 2, cougars and lynx. Arguably, one of the worst kinds of creatures you can find invading your home is one of the big cats. For most, this honestly wouldn't be an issue. But for a woman in Chile, she was reminded that there are big cats in her area, like cougars, and one actually broke into her house through a window and started to ransack her kitchen. The woman went to the kitchen and found her visitor. Naturally afraid, she called animal services. When she did, they came over and sedated the cat. After ensuring its capture, the cougar was released to a local zoo. Then there was another woman who found a lynx in her kitchen. They locked eyes for a moment. And of course, she pulled out her camera and recorded the confrontation, likely so she could prove that she was indeed being invaded by a lynx. Because that's what you should do when you find a wild animal in your house. Pictures first. Despite not being agitated by the camera, the lynx did not like it when the woman continued to approach it, so it lashed out a few times, almost scratching the woman once she refused to leave it alone. Really, you don't say. Big cats are everywhere, and you need to be careful with them if they enter your home. Probably best to not do a photo shoot first. Number 1. Bed bugs. Bed bugs in your home is a bad thing, no matter who you are or where you are. They're terrible, as was proven in 2016 in Augusta, Maine, when an apartment building was so filled with bed bugs that it wasn't just a danger to the people in the rooms, but it was a danger to the entire town. One of the tenants was so covered in bites that he had to go to the hospital in order to get fully treated. When a city investigator came to the apartment complex in question to look over it all, he found that there were bed bugs literally everywhere. The walls, the floors, the bathrooms, and every single apartment room was infected. What was the solution to this problem? A task force, among other things. The entire apartment complex had to be sprayed down in such a way to both kill the bed bugs and prevent them from spreading anymore. The landlord of the complex was ordered to figure out a way to ensure that this didn't happen again, and forced him to be liable in case the tenants had any losses or damages due to the bed bug infestation. The city was put into a state of emergency, if you will, to ensure that this apartment was an isolated incident. Yikes. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these crazy animal home invasions? Have you ever had an animal invader in your home? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!